Good morning, students. Today we are going to start our lesson, that is the age of revolution. Revolutions in America and France. The late 18th century was a period of revolution in America and France. The American Revolution was a momentous of historical milestone which inspired the people of other countries to overthrow their colonial masters and paved the path to democracy and self government. The French Revolution was another path breaking historical landmark. It was political, social, and economic in nature and ended the rule of hereditary kings. It also strengthened and empowered the middle class and gave hope to the poor and downtrodden people of society and introduced democratic ideas and ideals in France. The American War of Independence or the American Revolution. So, what we understand, students, the revolution in America and France, which started in late 18th century, was a period of revolution in America. The American Revolution, which was a momentous of historical milestone, and they were the countries which overthrew their colonial masters and paved the path of democracy. They adopted the democratic religion, the democratic system of government. The French Revolution was another path breaking historical landmark. It was the political, social, economic in nature and ended the rule of hereditary kings. It also strengthened and empowered the middle class and gave hope to the poor and downtrodden people of society and introduced democratic ideas and ideals in France. The American War of Independence or the American Revolution was the first organized political revolution in history of the world in which people asserted their right to rule themselves. The first organized political revolution was started in history of the world in which people asserted their right to rule themselves. The birth of United States of America as a nation was born and the end of autocratic rule. Kingship system had ended. Establishment of democratic form of government came up. Now, there were different causes for the American War of Independence. Now, students, what were the different causes for American War of Independence? As we know that people were long under the autocratic system of rule, which they did not like. They wanted to come out of it. Hence, the discovery of American continent, the New World, was followed by the establishment of permanent European settlements in 16th century. Thus, by the middle of the 18th century, 13 British colonies came up. There were 13 British colonies which came up and had been established along the east coast of North America. There was rigid control over economic policies. These colonies were under the control of British government, which gave them the considerable liberty to manage local affairs but kept a tight control on economic policies. The government of England believed that the colonies existed for the benefit of the mother country. That means the government of England which believed that the colonies which was existing there, it was for the benefit of their mother country. They wanted to expand these colonies, and this was greatly resented by the colonists who were independent minded Britishers who had left their homes for what? In England and settled in the New World, which your book is telling. In the search of freedom and better life. Better life and freedom, they started to explore new areas, new world. By the mid 18th century, these 13 colonies had developed into prosperous agricultural settlements, mainly in the south, with small but flourishing industries in north and a thriving overseas trade.